Fatigue and missing period. Is there a connection? Are the two things completely separated? How can you fix that? Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia Vidor. I'm a nutrition and dietetic clinician by trade, and I specialize in women's health, chronic fatigue, obviously, and that's why we're discussing fatigue in this video today. These are the behaviors around food and training and hormonal health, especially hypothalamic amenorrhea and infertility. And if you have been feeling fatigued over the past 2, 6, 12 months, you are in the right place. Before I go ahead and take a deep dive in the connection between fatigue and missing periods or irregular periods, just make sure that you subscribe and hit the button below, because every single time that a person subscribe, it allows me to create more of this free content so that you can enjoy it and just make the best out of it. So first of all, let's introduce the topic. Let's say that fatigue and missing periods are two common health concerns that many individuals experience at some point in their lives. They may seem unrelated, but there can actually be a significant connection between the two. And that's what we're going to discuss in this YouTube video, on the potential reasons behind the link between fatigue and missing periods, as well as what you can do if you're experiencing these symptoms. So fatigue is often described as extreme tiredness or lack of energy. Can have numerous causes ranging from lifestyle factors to underlying medical condition. So let's go through the main common causes of fatigue. The first one is sleep disturbances or sleep disorders, such as insomnia, sleep apnea, or even deciding to scroll through YouTube and Instagram instead of going to sleep at a reasonable time. Second cause can be stress and mental health conditions like anxiety and depressions, and you may find yourself in a situation where you're feeling tired the whole day, but then anxiety hits after 8 o'clock at night and it becomes really difficult for you to wind down and actually being able to go to sleep. A third reason is poor nutrition and dietary habits, including inadequate intake of essential nutrients. And that is very common in women with irregular and missing periods that are suffering from disordered behaviors around food and training and eating disorders. Another one is chronic illnesses such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, or autoimmune disorders. And last but not least, hormonal imbalances that can also include thyroid disorders and adrenal fatigue. So now that we have an understanding of what can cause fatigue, also let's take a deep dive on understanding missing periods. So missed period or amenorrhea occurs when a person of reproductive age, which can be anywhere between 18 to 6 years of age, skips one or more menstrual cycle. I normally say that 3 is the golden number. While occasional irregularities in the menstrual cycle are normal, so for example, when you're traveling, when you're under a great period of stress, when you've just broken up with your partner, things like that, there are other reasons cause your menstrual cycle can be missing. The first one is obviously pregnancy. That's the most common cause of missed periods in sexually active individuals of reproductive age. Another one can be a condition such as PCOS, or polycystic ovary syndrome, thyroid disorders, or obviously hypothalamic dysfunctions such as hypothalamic amenorrhea. Another one is extreme weight loss or low body weight. So, and I will really clarify the difference between the two. So one is losing weight in a very short window of time. The second one is being lower in body weight. There is also another differentiation that I would like to make. You can still be in a normal body, but have a low fat percentage, and that can really affect the menstrual cycle. Another one is stress. High levels of physical or emotional stress can disrupt the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, and that can lead to irregular periods or even amenorrhea, and then medications such as chemotherapy drugs that can affect the menstrual cycle. But if you're watching this video, chances are that you have been struggling with hypothalamic amenorrhea because of lack of nourishment, overtraining, or living in a situation where you have been suffering from a prolonged stress in your life. So There are several ways in which fatigue and missing periods may be interconnected. So one that we discussed before is the hormonal fluctuation that can contribute to both fatigue and menstrual irregularity. And that's normally seen in a condition such as PCOS, but also with the thyroid disorders. And the disruptions in hormonal levels can lead to fatigue and irregular periods simultaneously. Stress is another one because chronic stress can affect the body's hormonal balance and contribute to fatigue, as well as disrupting the menstrual cycle. And then, obviously, underlying medical conditions such as chronic illness and chronic fatigue syndromes that we discussed before. But a big one that I really would like to pause for a second is actually nutritional deficiencies and overtraining. Normally, when there is poor nutrition or inadequate caloric intake, that only can lead to fatigue and can disrupt the normal hormonal function, potentially resulting in missing periods. But when lack of nutrition and it's met by overtraining and possibly also by stress, that's a great combination for suffering from chronic fatigue and not having a menstrual cycle. So the question normally is, what can you do if you're experiencing fatigue and missing periods? So first of all, it is essential to speak with someone that is well-versed in both the situations, so fatigue and missing periods or hypothalamic amenorrhea. It's really important to have a medical evaluation. So normally when I work with a client, I always recommend them to talk to a GP, to talk with a medical provider, and to really identify if there is something underneath going on. And I normally look for autoimmune conditions, chronic illnesses, parasites, lack of nutrition, lack of iron, for example. How is the thyroid doing? How the hormones are doing, and so on and so forth. And I'm just mentioning a few of the things that of a not so comprehensive list that I've just mentioned. Something else that I normally would like to talk about with my clients is actually lifestyle. What is happening in their life that is actually impacting their vitality and their ability to show up as they want to on a day-to-day basis. So for example, one of the conversations that I normally have with people is, how is your stress level? How are you coping? Do you have any coping strategies to really decrease how stressed you feel, even though your life is throwing you curveballs one week and also the other? Also, how are you sleeping? And if you're not sleeping well enough or for long enough, what else is going on there? And if you're sleeping enough, 8 to 9 hours a night, and you're still waking up and feeling quite meh, then there is another conversation that we can have underneath it, around it. One more thing that I normally like to discuss is definitely nutritional support, ensuring adequate intake of essential nutrients such as iron, vitamin B12, omega-3 fatty acids. All of those can support levels and hormonal function. And last but not least, it's really important to mention the stress or mental health issues are contributing to symptoms. So seeking support also from a therapist or counselor can be extremely beneficial. From my clinical experience, I've normally noticed that hypothalamic amenorrhea, infertility, and chronic fatigue, or simply fatigue, that goes hand in hand, simply because the body is going through three different things. One, there is not enough nutrition. Secondly, there is that chronic level of stress, possibly because the person has been living in a situation where stress is part of the day-to-day life, but they don't have enough coping mechanism to really understand how to change that, or they don't even realize that they are in a chronic state. And last but not least, overtraining. All these three things combined can lead to a low level of estrogen. And when estrogen is low, there are many other things in the body that can get affected, not only the missing periods. Your adrenal glands are going to have a really tough time. Your thyroid is going to have a really tough time. And overall, you're going to suffer from lack of energy availability, which means that it's going to be really hard for you to come back and restore your energy if you don't address the root causes. And normally that's something that I discuss with my clients on the period comeback protocol, the fertility experience, on the group course, and in my one-on-one consultations. I personally suffer from hypothalamic amenorrhea, burnout, and fatigue, and chronic fatigue. And I really do understand how horrible he feels to be in that condition. But fear not, I am the living proof that you can actually restore your energy, restore your vitality, and come back from a place of distrust when it comes to your body, and distrust when it comes to all the things that you have tried to do until now. So if you feel called to actually book a sessions with me and see what I have to offer, I really invite you to click on the links below. And if you need any help, if you have been on the verge of seeking guidance and you're looking around because you don't want to do this on your own, just make sure that you book a call with me or with my team, or that you simply connect on Facebook or on YouTube. And I really would love to help you moving forward so that you can get your mojo and vitality back. I will see you on the next video. Thank you for now.